Michael had always thought he knew what peace meant. Growing up in a small suburban town, he believed peace was a quiet life with stability, a steady job, and predictable routines. But as he sat in his downtown apartment, looking out over the city lights that never truly slept, he realized he had been wrong. His life was anything but peaceful. Emails pinged constantly, deadlines loomed over him like dark clouds, and the endless noise of traffic and people outside his window seemed to echo the turmoil inside him. He longed for calm, but every attempt to grasp it felt like chasing smoke, elusive and intangible. One evening, feeling particularly exhausted, Michael decided to take a walk. The city streets were alive with the usual chaos: honking horns, flashing signs, and pedestrians rushing as if being late could cost them their lives. Yet, in the middle of this madness, he noticed something unusual. An old man was sitting on a worn-out bench under a flickering street lamp, his eyes closed, a faint smile on his face. The serenity of that simple scene struck Michael. How could someone be at peace here, amidst all this chaos? Curiosity drew him closer, and he hesitated before asking, "Excuse me, sir, how do you stay so calm out here?" The old man opened his eyes and studied Michael with a gaze that felt both gentle and piercing. "Peace isn't found outside," he said softly. "It's something you cultivate inside, in the quiet spaces no one else can see." Michael was intrigued. He had read countless books on meditation, watched videos on mindfulness, and even tried guided breathing exercises, but none of it had truly changed the way he felt. He wondered if the old man held a secret he had never encountered before. Over the next few weeks, Michael began visiting the bench regularly. Each evening, he would sit near the old man, sometimes talking, sometimes just observing. The conversations ranged from philosophy to small life lessons, but gradually, a pattern emerged. The old man never gave direct instructions or rigid advice. Instead, he spoke in stories, in ways that made Michael think and reflect deeply. One night, as the city hummed around them, the old man said, "Most people live life on autopilot, chasing things they don't even need, thinking it will bring peace. But peace is not about accumulation, it's about release. What you hold onto tightly is often what suffocates you." Those words haunted Michael long after he returned to his apartment. He began noticing how much of his daily life was cluttered with unnecessary stress, emails he didn't need to respond to immediately, social commitments that drained him, possessions he rarely used but felt obliged to maintain. He started experimenting with letting go of small things, and the results surprised him. Saying no to unnecessary meetings, decluttering his apartment, turning off notifications, these tiny shifts created a ripple effect. The city didn't get quieter, the responsibilities didn't disappear, but the way he experienced them changed. One particularly hectic Monday, Michael was sitting in his office, staring at a mountain of tasks that seemed impossible to complete. His mind raced with worry, guilt, and self-criticism. He remembered the old man's words and closed his eyes for a moment, taking a slow, deliberate breath. He reminded himself that he didn't need to control everything, that some things could wait, and that his value was not defined by constant productivity. When he opened his eyes, the work was still there, but his perspective had shifted. Instead of feeling trapped, he felt empowered to prioritize and approach his tasks with calm determination. As days turned into weeks, Michael discovered another hidden truth: the importance of mindfulness in everyday life. He had always associated mindfulness with meditation sessions or yoga classes, but he realized it could be practiced anywhere: washing dishes, walking to work, even sitting in traffic. Paying attention to the sensations of life, without judgment or expectation, became a doorway to inner peace. The first time he tried this fully, he was walking through a crowded subway station. Usually, The noise and movement would overwhelm him, but that day, he noticed the rhythm of footsteps, the warmth of sunlight on his face through the station's glass ceiling, the subtle smell of coffee from a nearby cart. For the first time in years, he felt present, fully alive, and quietly at peace amid chaos. Another revelation came from observing his own patterns of thought. Michael noticed that much of his suffering was self-created, arising from comparisons, regrets, and fears. The old man had said, "Your mind is a garden. If you plant weeds, they will grow. Tend it carefully." Michael began to practice this gardening metaphor consciously. Whenever he caught himself ruminating on past mistakes or worrying about imagined futures, he paused and replaced the thought with something nurturing, even if small. A memory of gratitude, a kind intention, a reminder of his own resilience. Over time, the weeds receded, and for the first time, he felt mental space, clarity, and the gentle unfolding of peace. One quiet evening, Michael met the old man again, and they sat together in companionable silence. Finally, Michael asked, "Sir, how did you learn all this? Why do most people never discover these things?" The old man chuckled softly, eyes crinkling. "Life teaches, but people rarely listen. They are too busy chasing happiness as a destination, rather than noticing it along the way. The secrets of peace are hidden in plain sight: simplicity, presence, gratitude, letting go, conscious living, and daily rituals that honor your inner world. You were never taught because they are learned, not handed down." Michael left that evening feeling as if a door had opened inside him, revealing a path he had never seen before. He realized that the pursuit of peace was not about escaping life's challenges but engaging with them differently. It was about cultivating an inner sanctuary, a space where storms could rage outside without disturbing the calm within. In the weeks that followed, Michael began applying these lessons more intentionally. He simplified his environment, clearing out old possessions that no longer served him. He cultivated gratitude daily, noting small joys and acts of kindness that previously went unnoticed. He became intentional about his relationships, investing time and energy in connections that nourished him and letting go of toxic interactions that drained him. Gradually, he noticed a profound transformation. Stress no longer dominated his mind, and even the city's relentless pace seemed less oppressive. He was learning the rhythm of life, not resisting it. Perhaps the most surprising discovery was the effect on his body and health. Michael had always thought peace was a mental state, but he realized the two were inseparable. Sleep came easier, digestion improved, and even his chronic back pain seemed less intense. His newfound calm allowed him to listen to his body, nourish it with care, and respond to its signals instead of ignoring them. It was as if the peace he cultivated within spilled over into every aspect of his life. One rainy afternoon, Michael walked through a park, watching droplets ripple in puddles. He thought about how far he had come since that first encounter with the old man. Peace was no longer something he chased. It was something he practiced, moment by moment. He understood now that the hidden secrets of a peaceful life were not secrets at all. They were simple, timeless truths that required awareness, patience, and courage to embrace. Most people never discovered them because they were too distracted, too hurried, or too attached to the idea that life needed to be complicated to be meaningful. As he sat on a bench under a large oak tree, listening to the rain patter against leaves, Michael felt a gentle smile spread across his face. Life was still messy, unpredictable, and sometimes painful, but he had discovered a way to navigate it with grace. The city still buzzed around him, but the noise no longer reached the core of his being. Peace had become his companion, quietly present in every breath, every thought, and every step. And for the first time, he understood what the old man had meant. Peace is cultivated from within, in the spaces where no one else can see, but where it matters most. Michael knew this was only the beginning. There were still lessons to learn, moments to practice, and challenges to face, but he felt ready. The hidden secrets were no longer hidden. They were alive in him, guiding him gently, reminding him that a peaceful life was not a distant dream, but a living reality, accessible to anyone willing to notice, reflect, and act. And as he rose to leave the park, the rain washing over him, he felt a profound gratitude for the journey itself, the unexpected encounters, the small awakenings, and the quiet transformation that had begun one ordinary evening on a city bench.